Hi, my Flat Earth family. So we are live, and welcome to our Sunday morning weekly review on the Flat Earth Teachers Network. It's me, Marilyn, Spirit Level, and we have Karen. Go, Karen.
Greetings, my Flat Earth family.
Yes, Karen is
good to be here with Marilyn.
Flat Earth Matters. That's her channel. She doesn't have a lot of content up yet, but we'll be discussing a little bit of that when we get to that subject. And let's start that subject right now. There are some channel names that have been that are on YouTube, and they have Flat Earth in the channel name. But now they have gone off and they're doing totally other things. That's one aspect of it. And others are claiming to be Flat Earth, but then they do other things and they lay them all out together. That's another aspect of it. I think the danger is that Flat Earth is a hot topic. So people want to get the viewership of a lot of other unsuspecting people who don't really know the community that well. And so they'll come in with, oh, Flat Earth, this or that, and then try to capture a portion of that market, when really they're not interested in Flat Earth at all. Like, I will give an example. This guy named Flat Earth Math. He's a math teacher, and he's certainly a globalist. So why is he saying Flat Earth Math? Because he's trying to disprove the Flat Earth. So he definitely is top on my list for being a deceiver. One who's trying to steer people away, confound and confuse, when he doesn't say anything. And these people are totally disingenuous, in my view, in anybody's view, especially when you're talking about math. It's a definitive science, and we certainly can determine if there's curvature or not. And I had the conversation with him, Flat Earth Math, he was just going in circles, and I didn't know him at all, so I just let him talk. But I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to start stopping people when I see them go down in the wrong road. And I used to do that to my kids, and it would really make them mad. But I could see where they were going in their conversation. I'm there, stop. Said, well, Mom, let me talk. No, well, wait a minute. You're going down the wrong road. So, yeah. So here we go. And I had this down.
And another,
go ahead,
Marilyn.
Go ahead, Karen.
Another example that would be good, and this doesn't really refer to content creators so much as the bystanders, because for example, my Jacksonville Flat Earth meetup, I have 126 people that have signed up for this meetup. And I send messages out all the time. I, organize the meetups, and I may have 1 to 5 people show up. So do these people, these are 120 people, did they join the meetup just so they can say, oh yeah, I'm in the Jacksonville Flat Earth meetup, but then do nothing to contribute, or even, show up if they're not real, if they don't already know that the earth is flat? You'd think they would show up to find out about it. Why would they join the Flat Earth meetup, then never have any participation in it?
Okay. So, can you, I didn't really research this, but can you go through the meetup and see where these people are from?
You broke up pretty bad there, Marilyn.
Okay.
Say that again.
Can you see where these people are located?
Yes, the majority, I'm going to say 97% of them are right here in Jacksonville. That's their location. I do have a few people, you know, further out that are people that I personally know that joined it in the very beginning when I set it up, and I called them, it's like, hey, join my meetup. So a few friends that live far away, but 98% of them are people from right here in Jacksonville.
That's amazing, because
And also, I know, it just blows me away. But another thing about that is when a new person joins, I go in and I look at their profile because I want to get an idea of where their head is and what other interests do they have. And I have found some pretty amazing things. Like I have 4 members that are also members of the hashtag resist group. In fact, they're organizers of the hashtag resist a meetup. And I'm thinking, why are these people joining the Flat Earth meetup? I don't know.
Well, it might have
Why they would join.
It might have something to do with, now, if I understand who these resist people are, it's because they don't like what the government's doing. And that correlates with what Flat Earth is, because we are opposing the lie the government's telling. So in that regard, we're, you know, even though we are peaceful and we're just teaching the truth, it can be seen as an activist role, but we aren't activists in the respect of protests. We are teachers of the truth. Is that
okay? You're breaking up pretty bad again, but I think I got the gist of it. The thing is, hashtag resist can be equated to Antifa. They are a far, far left radical group.
okay?
So for example, one of the organizers, well, in fact, I think a couple for the hashtag resist meetup, they have pictures of a protest that they did against Jordan Peterson. Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay, well, he's from Canada, but he's anti-government. They refer to him as a misogynist, and he's not. You know, he highly respects women, from what I've heard him say. That been married to the same woman for, I think, over 40 years. With a couple kids, you know, that are in college, and he's a psychologist, and he's very interesting to listen to. But anyway, they were doing a protest against him because they consider him a misogynist, which he is not. But the hashtag resist group is not a good group. They're not good people. And it bothers me that they're in this meetup, and frankly, I'm thankful that none of them have shown up. I almost expected them to show up at an activist situation and protest me.
Why would they protest you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just know that they're that type of people.
Okay. Well,
that want to cause disruption.
The only thing I can suggest is that maybe you have a conversation with them. But if you do that, then you're making contact and you're encouraging something. So if you don't want to do that, then, you know, maybe don't do anything and just be thankful for the few that show up.
Right,
You
right.
know,
That's just I just wanted to point out that example of, people that are, you know, saying, they use the words, yes, I'm a flat earther, but they don't do anything to, either passively or aggressively participate in it,
all right. What I was referring to more so was that there are people who have channels that are putting out content and that kind of a thing. That was
Right, right.
more so what I was saying. So, yeah, I think we have to be respectful of other people. And that means that you do what you say you're going to do. And when you say flat earth, then you should do flat earth. See?
I agree.
So
Yes.
that is respectful to other people, in my view. So, okay. So, in same line with that, this is some people who use the flat earth. It's like a bait and switch tactic. They'll draw you in and then switch the focus, and then you're kind of like in there, and they've kind of got your attention now. So then they can feed you something else, and that's a bait and switch tactic. So in marketing, you learn
And
that kind of a thing.
could that be people that are maybe members of the Flat Earth Society?
Funny you should bring that up. Yeah, exactly right. And we have to stand against that totally and tell people that they are a government-run organization for controlled opposition. And
Right.
we should think of that not as a nuisance, but as a learning opportunity. This can greatly enhance our presentation by giving that example of, look what the government is doing. I mean, they have this bait and switch thing going on, and a lot of people are taken off guard, and so you have to guard against those things. So that is it's an opportunity, and we should look at everything that way, as an opportunity. We should not be down in the dumps and looking for return on investment, ROI, and we should not be, show me the numbers, and thinking that people are a commodity when people are just people, and we have to be aware and respectful of how they react to things and how they are absorbing all this information. Which just reminded me, hold on a second. I'll put that down there. All right, I'm a little tired today, so bear with me. So there are some people who, this one guy, I'm calling him Doom and Gloom. And it goes very well with his name. And that's what he does, these live hangouts, and he's all doom and gloom. And even, I mean, he puts it right in the title of his hangouts. And I'm there like, what are you doing? I mean, he does not have the spirit. He does not have the spirit. There is no indication that he has the spirit, although he claimed at one time to be born again. But there's no evidence. No evidence. So not everybody that gets out on the street and teaches, or let me say, activizes, because he does not call himself a teacher. So not everyone who gets out on the street is a flat earth teacher or is doing it for the right reasons. So you have to discern what are the right reasons. And,
right.
and if you have the spirit, the right reason from the spirit of the creator, then you will want to do better all the time. You will want to improve. You will want to please the creator. You will want to do better and reach more people, because you know in your inner being, you know that this is a very, very important mission that you are on. So if you are not on this mission, then you will be doom and gloom. You will be complaining. You will be looking for the fruits of your own work. You will not exhibit the fruits of the Spirit, and that's because you don't have it.
Yeah. And you know, Marilyn, I always like to think of these words. He never said it would be easy, only that it would be worth it. Because it's not easy. It's not easy to get out there and do this. I mean, even if you have the right personality and filled with the Spirit, you know, you're going up against hardcore people that are going to call you names and, you know, try to beat down to the ground. And it's not easy, but it is worth it.
Yes. And can you say the word that makes it all worth it? I mean, what are we commanded to do? Something about blank your enemy.
You're breaking up again, Marilyn. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was convenient.
I missed it. I caught a word here and there.
So the thing is, love your enemy.
Love.
That's
yes.
The word is love. If you don't have the love of the Creator in your heart, in your inner being, then you are just going to totally miss this whole thing. And you're going to be out there trying to discourage other people, trying to derail them, trying to distract them. And I am going to tell you who are doing that, go away, shame on you, shame on you. And I am not saying names at this point, but I think people ought to unsubscribe your channel, because it is clear to me that you are not sincere. So as long as I don't mention names and just give the principles behind these ideas that are in Scripture, which you know nothing about, so then people can decide for themselves. And that's why I'm not mentioning names. I don't want to tell anybody what to do. But this is the way, and the way is what we find in Scripture. So love and the fruits of the Spirit, that is all of the way. So,
right.
Yeah. So,
misery loves company.
And they are miserable, aren't they? Oh,
oh gosh.
But, you know, if somebody starts out just, you know, talking at the coffee counter, this is what I did. Okay. Now, not everybody's me. I understand that. But guess what? You're all going to have the same type of progression. So
right.
Listen up, folks. This idea that, oh, well, I can do it my own way. And that was a very deceptive mantra that was put out there in the flat earth community with the flat earth then activists. Now we have grown and now we are teachers. But there are still some who want to distract and deter. And they say, well, everybody can do it their own way. Fine. Let's see where you started and where you are now. And if you have not grown in that time, if you are not looking how to better and do more and bigger, or reach people better, then you are not a flat earth, sincerely, you are not a flat earth teacher.
You're a clanging cymbal.
and a noisy gong.
Yeah. And I think maybe some of it too, Marilyn, this just popped in my head, but some of it might be for self-fame. You know, it's like you said, you know, flat earth is a hot topic, you know, and if you can get some fame from it, then let's use it, you know.
Self-promotion.
Right.
Self. That's right. They promote themselves. And this is all a man-made construct. It is not of God. So I'm going to start to call some of these people out. Mr. Doom and Gloom, knock it off. Don't come into the community and try to discourage people anymore. I think you're disgusting. So you are not growing. You keep saying, oh, I have to get out there again. Okay, but are you doing anything different? Are you changing? Are you growing personally? That's what we have to look at. Are you repenting of your sins? Are you repenting of what you didn't do right the last time you were out? I am constantly criticizing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I could have said this. I could have done that better. Oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. You know,
yeah, I do the same thing. I watch my videos and it's like, man, I should have done that differently, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, and it is a growing process. You know, we will learn from our mistakes.
If you are sincere, you will.
Right. Yes. Yes.
But
and I have always been a rebel. I've always, you know, figured it out myself. Made a lot of mistakes doing that. So, you know, are a little more hard-headed than others, but everyone has to come to the point where they examine themselves and how they are growing.
Yeah.
And what are fruits will not give us eternal life, but they sure will give us some rewards in that eternal life.
Yeah. Somebody just put this in the chat, and I do have it on, although I don't pay attention to it all the time. But somebody said about Brother Ernest is going concave. And I see that. You know Brother Ernest? Do you know anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's going concave earth. Now, there's so many basic principles that do not support concave earth. So whatever has happened to Brother Ernest, I can love him as a person, but I cannot support him in his path. And this just may be one of those cases where it's a bait and switch thing. You know, I cannot judge him. I do not know exactly what has happened. But
if I could just say real quick about that.
Go ahead.
Marilyn? Oh. Marilyn, are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. You're going in and out. But anyway, I just, as you were saying that, I had a thought. You know, we talked about government opposition and controlled opposition. And we know here on this lane that we walk on, we know that we have these people in position that can put this stuff out, but ultimately the person behind that, I shouldn't have said person, the spirit behind that is Shaitan, or Satan, as a lot of people call him. And the closer we get to truth, this is my experience, I'm speaking for myself,
okay.
The closer I get to truth and the more knowledge that I obtain to grow and better myself, the harder Satan hits. And he will do anything to pull you away from the knowledge and truth. So and ultimately, like I said, he is the one behind the opposition and the government lies.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think people that don't recognize that, let's say Satan's at work in your mind, and he's leading you, pushing you really towards these other things to believe. And I think that some people can't recognize that. And I think that's where discernment plays a big role in how we make decisions and choices that we make. We have to be able to discern, is this of good or is this of evil? And the more good we want, the more evil is going to try and tear us down. And we have to be strong.
Yeah.
Very strong to fight against it. First of all, to recognize it and to fight against it. And some people don't have that discernment and they're easily led astray. How do you feel about that?
Well, I just look at the life of Christ. What did Jesus do? He just walked around, and he was like a flat earth teacher. He created the flat earth. So there was a lot of things they knew back then where he didn't have to say, oh, look how flat the ocean is. But he had, he taught other things. I mean, I think everybody, when Jesus was walking around, that everybody kind of knew what was going on with the earth. I think they all knew that. There was a lot of ancient documents that it's all written up in. So anyway, we have to just do what Jesus did. We have to go and teach. That's the Great Commission. So if you can do that, and if you are building up to that, then don't get distracted. And there are even good things that can distract you, like maybe putting together an event or a conference or something like that. Now, those are good things, but maybe somebody else should do that. Someone who's, I don't know, just somebody else. I'm not going to get too specific. But
yeah.
So one more, all right, so one more thing I'm going to say before I get to my distraction that I did yesterday.
Oh, and you know what? Let me say something quick before you say that. Yahusha, that most people refer to as Jesus, I call him by his Hebrew name, Yahusha, and he was a dissident. He was not in agreement with his government, the government of the land, I'll say. He was more rebelled against it. So if we're going to follow in his steps, then that's another thing that we have to do. I mean, along with many other things, but that's something that we have to do. We can't go with the flow. He didn't do that. He didn't go with the flow. He was against the flow.
Right.
So,
well,
following in.
And the easy way to do that is like I did when I went to the school board. I said, there's a law that says the school must teach the truth. So now, school board, you have to figure out what is the truth and teach that and not abuse the children.
Right.
So
right.
It's not that we are anarchists. It's not get rid of government, and don't ever get rid of government. I think that would be a big mistake, because then you'd have total anarchy. That's wrong. I think we get rid of the people in the government that are abusing their power and authority. So, and I don't think it's going to come by voting. I do not believe voting is true anymore. And it has not been for a long time. We got to get rid of the corporation of America. And I think we've said this before, but that's what we have to get rid of. And so in order for us to do that, we have to tell everybody that the United States is a corporation, because they don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We definitely have to get that word out too. And that's part of the truth of flat Earth.
And those things do come up in conversations. I'm not saying that, don't say anything about anything else. But when I go out.
It's like you said, if someone flat out asks you a question about it, as to the best of your ability, you should try to answer it. But then you got to get back on. When you're out there teaching, you definitely need to be focused on flat Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be able to answer a question outside the ball, but
But I don't advertise other things. I don't put that on a banner. I don't say, oh, talk about anything you want, kids. I'll just tell you my opinion. No, don't do that. That is a distraction and a diversion. Don't even go there. You are out there to teach them the principles of the flat Earth, because guess what? That's how we came to know all these other things. The flat Earth is the key to all conspiracies.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we got to give them the key. And you can't do that if you're going on to a topic that is just opinion and opinion and opinion and opinion without any proof. We have the proof of the flat Earth. We have it. Give it to them. That's why this is important. So when you're out there teaching, the second that they start telling you the heliocentric model, that's when you say, there are two models that we are comparing here, and you have to decide which one is true. See, sometimes, and that's one of the things I've criticized myself about. I was out teaching and the kids would say, oh, well, this or that. And I'm there, wait, stop. There's two models, and this is the other model. Now you have to decide which one's true. And that
requires research. They can't stand there and make that decision right then and there.
And it also requires thinking.
Yes.
Yes.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking. And that's what I love. I love to see those light bulbs go on in those
I know.
people.
And that expression on the face, their expression is just like, huh?
Yes. I was so touched when I ended my Westchester time at the college there. There was like 6 guys that wanted to take their picture with me. And I do not believe all of them were mocking. I don't think it was that. I think because they gave me an applause too. And I'm there, oh, wow, that was nice, guys. And I think they appreciated me being there. I do believe they appreciated me being there. I think I opened their eyes to maybe a few things. I don't know if any of them came to Flat Earth because of me. I just want them to investigate it. So take a look at the Westchester series that I put up. I have something else that's very important. I did a craft fair. Do you have something else before I go on to this?
No, you can go on.
Okay. I did a craft fair yesterday. I started out doing it as a health fair, and then after my discovery of health fairs not succeeding because nobody's concerned about health. It's all their indoctrination and brainwashing that you just go get a pill.
Yeah.
So, yes. And so I had to change it, and I had to put in flea market tables and craft fair tables. So even with that, I only had like 15 or 16 tables. Now, that would have been nice, but then a couple didn't show up. And so it looked a little sparse. And I had to go buy it for advertising. I put up one of those notices, an event on YouTube or Facebook, an event on Facebook. And I don't think that got out very well. I think there was some mischief there. And also I bought 2 signs for the like yard signs, like a politician would put out. And one of them was stolen.
Jeez.
Who would ever steal a craft fair flea market sign? Who
An idiot.
Not an idiot.
An idiot.
Not an idiot. Somebody who wanted to hurt the event. They aren't idiots.
Oh, yeah.
They're not idiots. They are on a mission of their own of deceit. So
right.
So that was stolen. Now, in my attempts to get, I used my trailer and I decorated it with red and white and blue balloons. I wanted to get helium balloons, but guess what? When I went to the dollar store to get helium balloons, I walked up there to the counter and I was looking at the helium balloons, and the girls at the register, oh, well, you can't get any helium balloons. What did they call me, lady or something? We don't have any helium. And I said, what? You don't have helium? No. I'm there. Well, why don't you have the helium? Oh, we can't get it anywhere. It's nowhere to be found. Now,
oh my gosh. Oh, that's crazy.
So I hope all of you who are listening to this have some connection with helium and this, what's happening in our country. If you are not up on this subject, you need to look at A Plain Truth, the YouTube channel A Plain Truth. How they investigated the California fires, especially Paradise fires, and the blue beams that are coming down from the clouds at night, and the use of dirigibles, helium-filled dirigibles.
Crazy stuff.
So everybody who is listening should get that word out, that there's no helium to be found. Now, this is my summation, or I'm summarizing this in my mind, that this is what's happening. I want you all to go investigate this for yourselves. Go to your dollar store, find out if your dollar stores, maybe they're just saying, oh, Pennsylvania, we're not giving helium. I don't know. So, and somebody tell Richie from Boston and A Plain Truth this stuff, because I don't know. I tried looking on the channels. I couldn't find emails and whatnot, or I would have told them. So anyway, I had this craft fair, and I wanted to have it from, first off, it was 9 to 12. And then the guy said, well, we don't allow more than one event a day. So if you need to extend it, that's fine. So then when I had to bring on the craft and the flea market tables, I extended it till 2 o'clock, because that's what other firehouses do. 9 o'clock until 2 o'clock. So when I told the guy, oh, I extended it till 2 o'clock, he says, oh, no, you can't do that. I'm there, why not? Well, we have somebody coming in at 4 o'clock. I'm there, really? Well, you told me there wouldn't be an event that, oh, well, yeah, well, we just, did this. I'm there, oh, well, don't worry, because I will stay and I will help you rearrange the tables. I will push sweep. I will help mop the floor. He said, we have to put toilet paper in the bathrooms. That's what it, like he was saying, these like freaky stuff. Like, come on, get your stuff together here. Come on.
Excuses, basically.
Exactly right. So when I reserved the room, I had to give half the amount of the money. Then when I showed up yesterday morning, he charged me for the full amount and didn't even consider that I already put the deposit down. And in my haste, I just wrote out the check. I'm there, okay, fine. And I forgot all about the deposit. So then I'll finish this story and then we'll go on to what happened during the event. So I just did not think that something was right about what he was telling me. And even one of the craft fair ladies came up because she deals with senior citizens. She has a degree in that. She told me what it was. I don't remember, but she was saying, oh, now don't get upset. And she was patting him on the shoulder. And I did the same thing. You know, we were like trying to calm him down. And so I went home. Then after the event was all over, I went home and it was 4 o'clock and I'm there. You know what? I'm just going to drive up there. Guess what I found? Nothing.
Nothing.
There was no event. No event. And all the tables were put away. My biggest clue was before I even got out of there, all the chairs were away. And if this other lady was having an event, she wanted chairs. That's what he told me earlier. And she had a seating plan.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah. So I called the guy from the parking lot. I said, hey, I'm here at the firehouse and there's no event. And he says, oh, she canceled it and I didn't find out about it. So at 1 o'clock, he didn't know the event was canceled. Is that what you're telling me? 1 o'clock, at 1 o'clock, and all the chairs were put away, and he was working on putting the tables away, and he didn't know that at 1 o'clock. Then he texts me. Oh, first off, he says, oh, well, goodbye. Have a nice day. And he hangs up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So then later I texted him and he texted back and he says, oh, by the way, I didn't find out until 2:30. Huh? You didn't find out about it until 2:30, but you already had all the tables and chairs put away. And then you find out that you can't.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Well, same thing with the school board. Well, and I'm going to say it exactly the same way. Well, darn it now. They're making me go to one of their firehouse meetings to get this straightened out. I guess they didn't see my school board video. So, I don't know. And the trouble I had with the ladies auxiliary at that firehouse, I'll tell you, I even called and asked permission of the ladies auxiliary that I could add the craft and flea market tables because I didn't want to interfere in anything that they had planned. And she said, no, we're not doing anything like that till the fall. So it's fine. Great. So when I signed up, I asked if they had a sign for out in front of the firehouse. He says, oh, well, we don't get involved with signage. I'm there. Okay. So 2 weeks before the event, I called the ladies auxiliary and I asked the lady, I said, you have that sign out there. I said, I was wondering, you have one line that's not being used at the bottom. I said, could you just put my event on there, May 4th, craft fair or whatever? Oh, no, I can't do that.
Huh.
Why can't you do that? Is your finger broken? I'm thinking, like, I didn't ask her that. I was very polite. But you can't do that, or you won't do that.
And Marilyn, at that point, did they know that you were going to be, doing anything with Flat Earth? Or did they think it was totally just crafts?
I am the Flat Earth lady. I think I am very well known in the area. and they all think I'm wacky. But of course, they know nothing about it.
Yeah.
And they refuse to look at it. So, yeah. So then the next time I drove past the sign, they had put ladies auxiliary events in the bottom of that sign.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
I am very serious.
Oh my gosh.
So,
oh.
am I dealing with small-minded people here, and are they protecting, or do they have too much money? Is that the problem? This firehouse has way too much money, and they really don't want anybody in there. There was $120 an hour they were charging for that room.
What?
$120 an hour. Now I have to go out and I have to make some phone calls and see how much other firehouses charge to rent their hall and the square footage that they have, because this was a very small room.
Huh.
So, yeah, these are the things I do not recommend unless you are a firefighter or part of the ladies auxiliary of that firehouse. I do not recommend you doing it. I just don't think that it's going to be looked upon favorably, especially if you're a flat earther. Now, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, have you done anything at the libraries? Because, okay, because I mean, that's free and they'll put you on their calendar. I've gone to the library at the beach. That's the only one I've gone to, because they're the only one that have a decent sized room that isn't like more like a individual study room that's private. So it's free. They put you on their calendar, and I have found them pretty receptive to me.
Yes, I did a teaching event at the, it was right after the drag queen who was at the library reading to children.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, so I did get my banners out there on the sidewalk before the event. So I got all the people that were supporting the drag queen. They got a look. And even one drag queen, I'm not sure if it was her or not, who was in there. But one drag queen did come and looked at and spoke to me in a very, very heavy voice with mascara on, and a wig, and it's like
lovely.
It's even confusing talking to them.
I know.
Because they look like a man, they smell like a man, and yet they dress like a woman. So your mind is going, wait a minute, it's like,
yeah.
How do I dress this?
Causing confusion.
That is the way Satan does it.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So, yeah, I did the craft fair. Now, I will tell you that I had a great time at the craft fair. One thing I was playing, I got a projector and I was playing on the screen up front, Flat Earth Man, Conspiracy Music Guru. I was playing some of the videos of his music, and he said the word ass, and I'm there. Oh, why did he say that? Because in the CD, it's like bleeped out. It goes, psh, he doesn't say the word. And he also said God damn in the videos on YouTube, but on the CD, he does not say that.
Yeah, the CD is censored.
I thought I could trust the music, because when he said the word ass, I'm there, and I looked around to some of the people and they were going, whoa, what was that? And I had to switch to another video hoping that one, but then he says, God damn. And then I had to totally not play his stuff.
Oh, I mean, man.
What? Come on now. Come on. That's a bait and switch in my mind. If you do not rate your music, I expect G rating on all music, unless you're going to label it and say there's foul language in here.
Right.
Because that's hurting my reputation.
Right. But Marilyn, if you had played the CD, I know you wanted the video to go with it.
But I didn't have
yeah, I don't have one either. I have to listen to him on YouTube. But
maybe I could have done it through my computer, but I didn't think of that. I thought I could trust.
Right.
I could trust it.
Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's
a bummer.
too bad it happened there like that, you know, because like you said, it's like your reputation that now everyone's like, not only are you the flat earth lady, but you're the flat earth lady that condones swearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, dang.
Oh, come on. Once I got rid of some other flat earth person who uses the F word all the time, I just don't want those people in my life. I don't want them in my life. I don't think they are sincere at all.
And I agree with that. And also, when you listen to that language, you become numb to it.
Yeah.
And I used to I was married to a sailor for a while.
Oh.
And sailor mouth, you know, that I found myself using the same language. And it's because I was hearing it, that indoctrination. You're hearing it all the time, over and over, and then you become numb to it and participate in it yourself.
Right.
So, and still to this day, I have to catch myself sometimes. It's like, oh, you know, I'll stop like mid-word. It's like, what I meant was, but
so
yeah.
I did have some really good health people there who initially signed up. One was the BEMER, the Beamer, and it's gives a electromagnetic pulse. And I took an 8-minute session with that, and it really helped me. I could tell in that, even at 8 minutes, that little electric pulse. Yes,
tell me how it helped you.
Well, it starts the theory, and what it does is it helps the blood vessels to move the blood.
Yes.
So when we get older, the vessels they're not as elastic, and this helps them to expand and contract. So even in the areas that you need it, that blood doesn't really flow as much anymore, like a joint or something. And so
nerve endings. I can imagine nerve endings, because that's the first to go, man. Once you start losing the feeling and in the nerve endings, it just continues.
Now that's an expensive machine, but they're about, from what I heard, about $6,000. But a chiropractor was interested who came. He was interested in getting one of those. So that would be great for a business, because you could write it off and you could charge and recoup your losses.
Right.
And they also have a mat, a blanket that you put on horses, which I thought was awesome. You put the thing on the horses and you can give them this treatment. Now, for expensive race horses, that would be nothing, you know, to spend that.
Yeah.
So then I had a chiropractor there who was really up on nutrition and that sort of thing. So that was good. I also had an acupuncturist, and I had each of these give a little talk. So the acupuncturist gave a talk, and then I had a woman with CBD oil who was helped from her multiple sclerosis. And so she gave a little talk. Her husband helped her with that. And then I had somebody there who was a flat earther, she and her husband, and they developed a product line of soaps that are all natural.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and they really helped out, because when I upload these videos, they will be in that video. The biggest thing and the best thing that I got out of yesterday was there was a man there who was he actually got me started on the path. He's the man who said to me, you know, they never landed on the moon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And he said, well, you know, they say that they never landed on the moon. I'm not exactly sure where he stands on that, because I talked to him about flat earth, and years ago, he was part of my group that met at my house.
Oh, yeah.
So he was there.
Nice.
Right near the end, he and his wife, and I told him more about the flat earth, and the other flat earth people that were there were right behind, like right across the little aisle. And she chimed in there and says, yeah, Marilyn, tell him about this and tell him about that. And she chimed in with some things, and he like looked at her like, oh, like, you believe this too? And he says, well, I'll look into it. And I'm there, oh my gosh, how many years have I tried to get him to look at this? And he, was part of my group that never showed up anymore because of flat earth. And so I think it was a purposeful event. I think,
and that's an excellent example of sometimes all we do is plant a seed. And you planted that seed, and look at the fruit that has come from it. So that's awesome. That is awesome.
If he comes to understand flat earth, and there was also another young kid there who, oh, well, I'm going to look in. I guess I wasn't looking in the right places. That's what he said. He took my information, and I think a couple of people are going to look into it. They were open to it. So if this one guy comes and finds, hey, the earth could be flat, that will affect all the people in the group that used to come here, because he's a very intelligent man. He owned his own software company. And so that will get around. And the people that I love the most may come to flat earth, and I'm very hopeful there.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yes, so I think we said a lot. Is there anything else that we need to touch on? I just think it's very important that we recognize that if you are true and sincere, then you're going to grow.
Right.
If you're not, then you're going to keep doing the same things. So if you
stagnant.
If you still have the camera on yourself and you're only talking to one person each time you go out or whatever, or you're walking along a sidewalk, you're just walking and just say, hey, flat earth, like, and you don't graduate from that. You don't grow and start doing something different because you're not reaching enough people and you haven't figured that out. What's going on? There's no critical thought.
Make a change.
Make a change. Start changing up what you're doing, because you're not doing the mission. You're not teaching. You're not going out. And the Bible says preaching, but preaching is just teaching with a P. So
yes.
So start changing up, because I'm sick of it. I had it. No, up here. So, all right, guys. Is there anything else? Is there something in the chat that anybody needs to me to address, or Karen to address, that we haven't gotten to yet? I'll look at the chat. Hi, Vlad. There's Vlad. Hi. He came to one of my meetups. Let me see. Flat Earth is New Jerusalem. I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can see who's participating today.
The New Jerusalem that comes down, it's the kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Anonymous Farm, Flat Earth is New Jerusalem, Flat on Earth. Okay. And I know other people were here. Mikey Smith was on. I don't know who else was here and then left. But I will read the comments and on the chat, and then we can address some things. I keep notes, show notes for the next week, and then we address those things. So, okay. Anything else, Karen?
Oh, I think I'm good for today. We covered a lot of stuff. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we'd like to do, is, the week in review of what we've done and things that come up. because these things come up in your life. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I did wear my Flat Earth t-shirt yesterday to run quite a few errands, and I was able to just mention it. I didn't get very far with a couple people at the grocery store, but another thing I did is, as I was going through the grocery store, is just I left some business cards, Flat Earth 101 business cards, on several different shelves, and at the lottery table where you fill out your lottery card.
Ah.
Yeah. So
yeah, the Flat Earth, you've won the lottery with Flat Earth.
no kidding, man. That's what I was thinking. Here's a lottery ticket.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh, but I enjoy doing that. So, and I do that throughout the week. Those are little seeds, you know. They're,
Yes.
I mean, that's all. If you can't actually talk to someone, which believe me, if I had the opportunity, I'd be talking to them. I make the opportunity. But if you're in a hurry and you're running through grocery shopping, you know, stick some business cards in your back pocket. Leave them on the shelf in the grocery store.
Always have it on you. Always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but other than that, I think I'm good for today.
Okay, me too. Just one little quick reminder to all the Freemasons out there who think that they are going to be cared for and taken care of. All their lives are going to pay off, and they'll be given some special, you know, job or some special, like, I don't know, reward for all their lying and deceptions here against humanity. It ain't gonna happen. They're not
gonna happen.
They're not gonna take care of you. They are lying to you, and liars lie. So what makes you think they're telling you the truth? You're deceiving yourself. So you better stick with humanity, and we all need to stick together. So all right, love you all. I hope you have a great week. Get out there and grow, because that's what the Holy Spirit does to you. It makes you grow.
And be blessed.
And be blessed. All right. Love you all. Bye-bye.